Welcome back to another deadline stream. It is very late, I do know that. I apologize in advance. I have been trying for the past hour or so to solve the issues, but ultimately my broadband is down and I'm using my mobile hotspot, which is now somewhat functioning, but even at the very beginning when I started, there was a bit of a cutoff. So I do apologize if there are any kind of, dips, and maybe if I start freezing in terms of audio and in the video. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. Hopefully things go smoothly until the deadline, but yeah, today hasn't been ideal to say the least. We've got a lot of yellow flags in FPL, orange flags, red flags, and my internet is definitely one of them. That is red flagged, and my hotspot is definitely a yellow or orange to say the least. But let's get straight into your questions, hopefully at least in the next, 50 minutes, an hour, whatever it may be. Hopefully we can answer all your questions, cover all the main topics in this deadline stream, because a lot has happened since my last FPL video. So I'm going to get straight into it, and fingers crossed things go smoothly. So welcome to JP. Hi Dylan, start and why please? Cash and Estupinian and Foden and Saka, start and why? Cash and Estupinian and Foden and Saka. Not gonna lie, I got a bit lost in the middle of that, but in terms of why please, so Cash and Estupinian and Foden. So in terms of Cash, I don't think I'd start him this week. I'd probably go for Estupinian over him, and that's more so because I think Estupinian's more goal threat and assist threat. But in my prediction, I went for 2-1 Aston Villa. It could be a draw, but I don't see Brighton winning that game. So from that perspective, you could go for Matty Cash. Both of them are very offensive, but my personal preference as an FPL asset is always going to be Estupinian. As for Foden and Saka start, I'd start both of them. I would not bench either one of them, to say the least. I think Saka will start against Bournemouth today, and Foden's a good option against Wolves. So I wouldn't go for Foden or Saka over each other. I think they're both really good options. If I knew Saka was starting 100%, he didn't have that flag, I would prefer him this week, but I wouldn't bench Phil Foden. Bubble Attack puts his team. So what do you think about Foden to Bowen? I like Bowen a lot this week, but I wouldn't sell Foden against Wolves. That's just my personal opinion. I'd rather sell another midfielder instead, even in Boomer, and I'd rather keep Foden. The only issue is that Foden's fixtures from Game Weeks 8 to 16 are very poor. Benefits of wildcard in Game Week 8 or 9, your view? Depends on the team, of course, but I'm looking at both weeks for my wildcard team. I think the benefit of using the wildcard in Game Week 8 is that you can maybe go 2 or 3 Spurs players to target Luton Town away. In Game Week 9, you can really target Liverpool players, and also you're only 1 game week away from Brighton's fixture swing in Game Week 10. So from that perspective, you could say Game Week 9 looks a bit easier, or maybe a more opportune time to use the wildcard, but I think either time is good, and they're both quite similar. Your wildcard team in Game Week 8 won't be that different from what it would be in Game Week 9. EY says, I've got 5 injured players and 1 who doesn't play. Worth taking a hit or wildcard? It depends who these injured players are. I think Sven Botman will play. I also think Bukayo Saka, Maddison and Son will play. So it really just depends on which players you have. Chilwell is definitely ruled out, and either way, I didn't expect him to start. But I think if it's players like Sven Botman, Dan Burn and Saka, Son, etc., I think they'll all play. Dergish says, my team, if wildcarding in Game Week 8, Jackson out, Morris in this week, -4 punt. Wildcarding Game Week 9, Chilwell out, Trippier in, -4. Jackson play against Burnley in Game Week 8. Yeah, I think that looks good in terms of when to play the wildcard with your team situation. I think maybe Game Week 9, I think that could be the play there. I think Game Week 9 would be even better for you. But the thing is, we've taken a -4 hit this week or next week, whether you wildcard in Game Week 8 or 9, it's only a 1-week punt, and you really need that to, pay off in a week. And to be honest, I think those moves will. So ultimately, I'd probably wildcard in 9 in your situation, and I think those transfers look good in general. Any connection yet? Hopefully, but I don't even want to mention connections or anything like that, because I remember when I was in Greece and I streamed in the Game Week 1 deadline stream last season, as soon as I said, things are going all right so far, it literally just cut out. So I don't want to jinx them. I'm a bit superstitious that way. Sindra says, hey Dylan, hope you get your Wi-Fi working. It's not, but something's working, and it gets connected. Thoughts on Joao Pedro and Saka to Morris, or a Burnley forward and Bowen for a -4, or Pedro and Baldock to Morris and a West Ham defender? I wouldn't sell Saka this week personally, especially for a hit, because I think he'll play. Of course, there is a chance he's not going to start. He was pictured traveling. There's videos of him signing autographs and stuff, but that doesn't mean he's going to start. Having said that, I personally believe he will, and I think such a move of Saka to Bowen could be very risky. Of course, I like Bowen. I said that before. Even in the long term, he is a buy in my trans tips video this week, but I wouldn't do that transfer necessarily. So I'd rather do... I think in the end, I'd go for the last transfer. Yeah, Pedro and Baldock to Morris and a West Ham defender. But that West Ham defender is mainly a 1 week punt. Long term, I would only want Areola in goal because he's so cheap, or Bowen/Ward-Prowse. And which defender and midfielder do I start between Cassius Stupinian and Mbumo Sterling? Even though Mbumo played the full 90 against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, I'd probably go for him. And I think Forest could be a tough game there for Brentford. I'm anticipating a 1-1 draw. And of course, if I had to give one team the edge, I'd actually give Forest the edge in that game. I think Saka starts, I agree. And by the way, I'm very far behind in the chat, so I do apologise. Yeah, I think Saka starts. Would you do Worcester to Alvarez for a -4? Really tough one. I probably would. I still think Alvarez is a good long-term purchase, but he has played a lot of minutes recently. I know he got subbed off a bit early on against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, but he did play a significant amount of minutes as well. So yeah, thank you for everyone who's been tuning in. It's massively appreciated. Of course, it's not ideal to have started so late, but we are here and hopefully we can stay here. Thank you, FPL Diamond. I appreciate it. Thank you as always for the shout outs. Saliba will play. I think so. And look, I'm normally a pessimistic Arsenal fan, but I think Saliba and Saka will play. Same with Declan Rice. Starting Boomer or Diaby. I think the fixture looks tougher for Diaby, but I'd probably go for him. I think Brian could really suit him. Flecken or Areola? This week I'd go for Areola. Robert Sanchez or Alphonse Areola? Areola. Mitoma to Gordon? No. The reason why I'd say no is because Gordon is 1 yellow card away from suspension, and Mitoma's fixture's turning game week 10. And I talked about Mitoma in the trans tips. I think he's a hold. I know he faces Liverpool and Man City straight after, but I think he could do well against Aston Villa and Liverpool. Diaby or Maddison to start? Really close one, but I'd probably go for Diaby. Having said that, I wouldn't bench Maddison. What do you think of Alvarez to Nunez? I think Darwin looks like a really good punt, even on the wild card. He's not going to start every single game, and he could be frustrating from that perspective, but even off the bench, he's a really good impact sub, and he's had a great start to the season in all competitions. I wouldn't sell Alvarez to him, though. Street says, you think Son, Maddison, Burnham, Botman, all worth leaving in my 11? I personally think so. I'm only, just giving my opinions. I get things wrong, and it's all really just what I think is going to happen. I think all 4 of them start, and a lot of these Newcastle assets, I think it's just kind of, maybe not tongue-in-cheek, but sometimes it's just mind games with the opposition. Ivan Arteta was probably doing it with the likes of Saliba, Saka, etc. Worth taking a -4 for a Newcastle defender? Yes, especially Trippier. A bit riskier with Burnham Botman, who I still think will start, but they've got the yellow flag, and some people may say, no, don't take a -4 hit for a caution player, and I understand that. But I think a -4 for Trippier is certainly worth it. Flecken or Turner? I'd probably favour Turner this week, actually. What's the news on Gvardiol? Is he going to start? I'll have a check now. Not too sure what the latest updates on him is, but let me have a quick look. So 1 second. Yeah, with Gvardiol, he doesn't really have any injury or anything like that, but let's wait and see. I think with Gvardiol, the main issue is rotation with Nathan Ake, and my personal preference in the Man City defence right now is Walker or Akanji. Ruben Diaz is a bit more expensive, but I think one of those 3 is just fine. I think Gvardiol will start personally, but that's just an opinion, and I could be completely wrong. Pep Roulette is something I tend to get wrong more often than not. Start Botman or Stupinian, says Bestie. I'd go for Botman this week for sure. Alvarez or Son? I prefer Alvarez this week, but I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. I wouldn't bench Son either. The same goes for any Spurs player. They've scored 2+ goals in every single game under Ange Postecoglou. Really disappointed about my Saka to Son for a -4. Had budget constraints and Saka was scheduled to drop. Yeah, look, I made an early move as well of Rico Henry to Trippier. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Rico Henry being sidelined for the rest of the season, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I can understand why some people made early moves. This week is just an absolute mess in terms of cautions, flags, etc. So I do feel for you there. If Saka starts, I would be hiding behind the sofa. But over the next 2-3 game weeks as a whole, I would back Son to outscore Saka. By 4 points, let's wait and see. But good luck with that. Hopefully both Saka and Son do well. Actually, no. Let me take that back with Son, but good luck to you anyway. Pat says, hi Dylan, should I start Bayer or Estupinian? I'd go for Bayer this week. One of the few times I'd go for such a move. Yeah, I think Saka's staying in my team. I think he'll start, and, you know, of course I could be wrong, and if I am, I could be in deep trouble, but I think he'll start. Safar says, I have a doggy, Colwell, Botman, and a Stupinian. Would you bring in Cash or Trippier for one of them? Good question. I'd bring in Trippier for Colwell. I really would. I know the next two fixtures are good, but long term, I'd want a doggy, Botman, a Stupinian, and Colwell for me is the sacrificial lamb. So yeah, Colwell to Trippier is a great move for you. Best captain this game week, unfortunately, Haaland. Let me get that right. I keep saying Haaland. I don't know why. Haaland. But I think that will change in game week 8. That's where I'd gravitate towards a Son, Maddison, etc. But in game week 7, probably Haaland first. I'd put Morris right up there in the top 3, simply for the double game week, but Haaland is first. Start with Saliba or Stupinian. I would go for Saliba. Welcome to Stupaki. Good to see you. Let's see what else we have. Start with Saliba or Stupinian. Yeah, we've covered. I'd go for Saliba. Chilwell to Cash or Share or Burn. Well, Cash is a good long-term move. You know he's going to start. With Share and Burn, you've got, well, at least with Burn, you've got that doubt with the yellow flag. My personal preference is a Newcastle defender, and I'd probably go for Share or Burn, either one. Share's a bit more expensive, but it's got more attacking threat, despite what happened in the 8-0 victory last week. But I'd probably go for Share there. Hazik says Sterling to Bowen or Chilwell to Botman. Good question, to be fair. I'd probably go for Chilwell to Botman, because I personally think Botman will start, but both moves are really good. I like that Bowen move. Watkins to Alvarez or take out one of the Man U mids. At this stage, I don't think I'd do Watkins to Alvarez. I think the Argentine will outscore Watkins this week, but over the next 5-6 game weeks, you have to say Watkins has the better fixtures, so I probably wouldn't do it at this stage. I probably shouldn't have done it last week. I did. There you go. I'd probably keep Watkins. Casemiro or Gordon for long term. It'd be Gordon. Just be aware. One more yellow, he's suspended, but I think he's a good option besides that. Diaz out, Bowen in, says Anas. Yes, I think Diaz could do well in such a high-scoring game, which I anticipate this weekend, but I think Bowen's a better long-term asset, actually. Thank you for the super chat, and just get that up. To Yusuf, very much appreciated. Really generous donation. Captain Trippier for differential. You know what? Having said that, you actually reminded me. I'm going to make him my vice captain. I don't mind that at all. So just reading the rest of your comment. Clean sheet plus assist potential and bonus points, and start one of Saka, Sterling or Cash. Look, to be fair, if I were to go against the Haaland captaincy, Trippier would be right up there. If Saka was fully fit, I knew he was going to start. He would also be up there in the conversation. Morris as well. That will kind of formulate your top 5. But yeah, I don't mind that Trippier move at all. The only concern is that he's the most transferred in player, as far as I'm aware. And we have this curse going on of the most transferred in player every single week blanking. But I think there's a genuine debate for that. He's playing his former club, but he's at home. Newcastle have 4 clean sheets in a row in all competitions. And Trippier just got a hat-trick of assists. And before game week 6, it has to be said, his underlying numbers weren't that great. Only the key passes look pretty decent. But I think that is genuinely a good move. And he didn't even play against Man City, so that's another big bonus. So yeah, I like that. I like that, you know, a lot. If you want a differential captain, I definitely recommend Trippier. He is currently my vice. I'm just going to go save that right now. So actually, thank you for reminding me, because sometimes I just completely forget about the vice captaincy and all that. So yeah, I think Trippier is a good one. In terms of your other question, I'd start Saka. I really would. Maybe I'd rank Sterling above Cash. I think Aston Villa will concede, even though I'd back them more so than Brighton to win the game. Kelly says which to start from Estupinian, Dean and Akanji. Akanji for sure. And I'd probably go for Estupinian, although like I said, my prediction is for Aston Villa to win, potentially. But Estupinian has more attacking threat for me than Luka Dean. Mbuma to JWP or Bowen, both really good options. I prefer Bowen just a little bit more, but honestly, they're both really good options. Do you think Wilson will play? Yes, and maybe I'm being a bit too naive or optimistic about all these yellow flags, but I personally think he will. Would you take a punt on Doku? The thing with Doku, probably not. The reason why I'd say no is because Grealish is now back, and a lot of Man City fans are on his case. I've seen that. And Doku is really direct. He gives Man City something completely different. But I'm not so sure now. I think the minutes are going to be a big concern. I got him in as a punt in matchday 1 of UCL Fantasy. It didn't go right for me at all. Look, it's not a bad punt. Let me put it that way. I think he's really explosive. He's got a lot of potential. Great player to watch. But I don't think I would now with Grealish back. Thank you, John Paul, for the kind words. I appreciate it. Estupinian and Edison for Trippier and Turner. Have to take the -4 hit for Trippier. Oof. The thing is with Trippier, I think he is an upgrade on Estupinian, especially with fixtures in mind, but I still like Estupinian a lot from game weeks 10 onwards, and even against Aston Villa and Liverpool, he's not the worst option in the world. But yeah, Edison to Turner, I'll be honest, I'd probably say no. Simply because you're making a goalkeeper transfer as well, and you're also losing Edison, who has a much better chance of a clean sheet against Wolves compared to Turner at home to Brentford. So I'd personally not do that -4 hit, and I'd find another way to bring Trippier in. Pavlis says, is it worth getting one of Burnley or Luton keepers? I don't think so, because you'd only want them for one game week, and beyond game week 7, I think there are many better goalkeepers, even Fleckin, Bernd Leno, Areola, not to mention even Alisson and Edison, they're better options, so I'd personally not do it. Is Estupinian over Bayer a good move for this game week? I don't mind it. Look, Estupinian is a much better FPL option, let's be quite frank. I'd probably go for Bayer simply for the double, but his double isn't that great either. He's facing Newcastle as part of that double. And Estupinian, I think he's going to blank personally, and that's why I was open to a -4 hit to get rid of him. But to be honest, I'd probably go for Bayer this week. But going for Estupinian isn't a bad move at all. Foden, keep or sell, I think is a keep, especially this week. Maybe in game week 8 onwards, you could make a case for selling him, but against Wolves, I'd keep him. Start Turner or Johnston? I'd go for Turner, but I don't really anticipate a clean sheet for either of them, to be quite frank. Bowen or Gordon? I prefer Bowen, and I think that yellow card risk, that suspension risk, is a big factor. Otherwise, I think Gordon could be even better in terms of value, the fixtures, etc. Newcastle also a better team than West Ham, but I think Bowen is probably just a little bit better. And in terms of a wild card, I'd consider both of them. But yeah, I'd probably go for Bowen. Start Akanji or Estupinian? Akanji. Worth transferring Maddison out? I don't think so. I think he's going to play. It doesn't look like the injury is serious. Postecoglou is quite coy in his press conference, but I wouldn't really look too much into what some managers say at times because they want to play mind games, especially in these big matches. I think Maddison is going to play. Yep. I think both of them will be available, so starting Maddison and Son there, I wouldn't have any issues with it whatsoever. Is a double game week player a must-have this week? Not a must-have, but it is a nice differential, a way of separating yourself from the rest of the crowd. A lot of them are low-owned. My pick, of course, is Morris. I think he's by far the best option from Luton Town or Burnley. And if you have Jackson, it's such a simple move. Even for a hit, I'd do it. I have triple Newcastle defence. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far personally, but against Burnley, that could really pay dividends. But in certain fixtures like West Ham away, not ideal. But when it really works, I think it could be really fantastic for you. Milner says, plan to bring in Salah game week 9, roll game week 7, game week 8, do Fleck into Turner. Funds, fair enough. Mbuma to Salah, and one of Bruno, Maddison, Saka to Gordon, Neto. If I don't do Fleck into Turner, I need to get Elliot Anderson. I can see your moves. They do make sense, but looking at it from an external source, as I am, I guess, I have to say it does seem like you're making a few downgrades there in order to bring in Salah, and that's ultimately one of the big issues that lies, whether you're bringing Salah in on the wild card or using free transfers. But I have to say, as plans go and as downgrades go, I've seen worse. The only real criticism I could have is moving one of those good midfielders of Bruno, Maddison, Saka to Gordon, and if he gets booked in the next game, that could really be a pain. But good transfers overall, and it's a decent plan to bring in Salah. Son in for Bruno or Rashford. Considering form, it has to be Rashford, but also, I've said this against Burnley as well last week. These opponents coming up, I think, do suit Rashford a little bit more than Bruno, but I'd still rather Bruno Fernandes in the long term. So my answer is still Rashford. I'd sell him. Having said that, it wouldn't surprise me if he started getting his shooting boots on. Too much games today. Yeah, I think the scheduling is a bit of a mess. 8 games in one day. Then you've got one on Sunday, which, let's be honest, not many people will watch. Then you've got one on Monday and one on Tuesday. So really weird scheduling, but there you go. Yeah, I think Saka will play. When do you want to use a wild card? I'm quite open-minded about it. It could be game week 8 or 9. It really depends on how things progress and how these injury concerns also develop. Let's say, for example, all 4 of my players miss out and they're a doubt for game week 8, then I'd probably be tempted to play the wild card by that stage. But otherwise, I'd be quite happy to maybe wait a little bit longer. I don't want to just wildcard panic with all these yellow flags going on, and then I suddenly bring in some players like Botman who also miss out, and I still have some yellow flag players in my ranks as well. Sell Gabriel, buy Trippier or share. Not sure I'd sell Gabriel this week against Bournemouth, to be honest. But it'd be Trippier if you're buying him, and he is still an upgrade on Gabriel, I will admit that. Double Newcastle defence or play Botman? Sorry, Estupinian. I'd play double Newcastle defence, definitely. Yeah, Morris captain is a bit risky, of course, but it's a double gimmick player, and he's still right up there. He's got 2 plum fixtures. He's on penalties, so there's a lot to like there. In terms of the away kits, if you type in on Google Chrome or any browser with a Chrome kind of search engine, just type in FPL away kits, and then you can add that to your browser. Once you refresh a page, you will have the away kits. I wouldn't bench Maddison, yeah, personally. Saliba news. Well, he travelled. That's what we got yesterday. Same with Saka and Declan Rice. I think he's going to start, but that isn't news. That's just my opinion. Start Maddison over Wissa. I would. Matoma or Diaby. This week, it'd be Diaby. Mbeumo, Foden, Saka or Maddison, which 3? Well, the one I'd bench is Mbeumo this week. Wissa, Sterling, Diaby, 2 of them play. It'd be Diaby and probably Wissa. I'm a bit cautious about that one. Sterling could do well over the next 2 game weeks, but I'm mainly looking at Burnley away in game week 8, where Chelsea and Sterling could do well. Yeah, about the Gordon suspension, I hope he gets booked this game week so I can get him in game week 9. Yeah, that's obviously going to be ideal, and also it punishes those that have him already. That would be ideal. It's saying Saka is 8.6 million. Well, he's 8.7 for me. It's probably in terms of sell value, if you're not aware of it. So basically, Saka started this season at 8.5 million, and once a player goes up in price by 0.2 million and he's on your team, you gain 0.1 million in terms of selling value. And so then once he goes down again, you also lose that 0.1 million you accumulated. So that's the way the kind of purchase and sell values work. JWP or Bowen and Diaby or Watkins for long term. Like I said, minimal differences, but I'd personally go for Bowen and Diaby. Those would be my preferences. I still like Watkins and JWP, though. It has to be said. I have Sterling, Rashford, and Saka. Who's the first to leave? It'd be Sterling for me. As bad as Rashford has been this season, I've still seen a few signs of him. There's still obviously a player in there. He is a danger when he gets on the ball and runs at players. He's a really, obviously, pacey winger, and he's got the fixtures there for Man United. So I'd rather keep Rashford. Saka, for me, despite facing Man City soon and being a flag this week, I'd keep him. So Sterling is the one to sell. In terms of replacements, I'm living like Mourinho. What am I on today? Bowen or James Ward-Prowse, I think, would be really good purchases for Sterling. It all depends on your budget, ultimately. If you don't have Maddison as well, he's someone to bring in ahead of game week 8. So it really depends, but I think a West Ham midfielder or Maddison would be your best bet. Kirstland says, hello, I took a -8 Saka to Bowen, Estupinian to Trippier. Fair enough. Like I said, I think Saka will play, so that could come back to bite you, but I think that Trippier move is really good, and Bowen is still a good transfer overall. Let me just have a quick look. Okay, I don't want to mention anything about the internet. I've had enough of the internet today. Going to try have a few phone calls after this is done. Kabore or Estupinian? Kabore this week. Diaby or Bowen? Bowen. Bowen this week, by the way. Overall, I think I'd give the edge to Diaby. But both of them are good options this week, I have to say. Despite Diaby facing Brighton, I think that game could suit him. But ultimately, overall, you're looking longer term, Diaby for me. What's the deal with Saka? He picked up an injury towards the end of the North London derby, but he travelled to Bournemouth, same with Declan Rice and Saliba. I think he'll start, but that's just a personal opinion. I might be completely wrong, and I'll cry by the end. Start Stupinian or Gabriel? I'd go for Gabriel this week. Thoughts on Saka and Maddison? I wouldn't sell either of them. That's my personal take. If I were to sell Saka, it'd be in game week 8. I can see why you're doing it, because he's at 50% chance of playing according to FPL, orange flagged, and he's not a guarantee to start. But I think I'd just keep both of them, to be fair. I do like the Bone transfer, but I wouldn't sell Saka or Maddison. No, I wouldn't do Saka to Gordon for a -4. Personally, I wouldn't do that. Start Mbeumo or Doku? I'd start Doku, but he is a risk. He's not guaranteed to start. If you have Morris in place of Asula, who would you bench from your attack? That's a good question. Probably Sterling or Mbeumo. And if I had to pick one, it's probably Sterling. But not that keen on Mbeumo nowadays either. Areola or Edison? This week, that's really close actually, but I'd probably still favour Edison. I really back Man City defence in most game weeks. But look, Areola's a fine option. And what Areola has over Edison is the saves potential. Start Kulusevski or March. I would go for... I'd go for Kulusevski. Mubama to Morris -4. I think that's a good transfer. Bring in Son or Trippier. I'd go for Trippier. And next week I'd bring in Son. If it's a question of, you know, if you bring in Trippier now, you can't bring in Son next week, then I'd maybe reconsider. Play Ruben, Saka or Gordon? Saka. As for Ruben, I'm guessing that's Diaz. I'd still play him if he can. I think a clean sheet against Wolves is quite likely. Should I get Trippier for Saliba? Long term, that's a good move. It's an upgrade, but I think Saliba will do well this week, and I think he'll start. What's your transfer plans this week? Well, I made one transfer already. It was Trippier in for Rico Henry, who's out for the season. And having done that transfer, I've still got 5 flag players. So it's just not an ideal week, to be quite frank. I was considering a -4 hit, which would be Chilwell to Botman for a -4. Might hold out from that. And look, let's be honest. If Saliba, Saka, Maddison all were to miss out, I'd be down to 9 men, basically, with a doggy coming on. So it's not looking good for my team, but I'm quite optimistic that Saliba, Saka, Maddison play. I'm most confident about Maddison, but I think all 3 of them will play. And by the way, Saka's now a yellow flagged. He was orange flagged before, so that's something that has changed. I'm not sure when I'm wildcarding, to be honest. It could be Game Week 8. It all depends on the injuries and how things develop, but I'm quite open-minded. I'm quite happy to hold for now. Do you think Foden and Alvarez play? Yeah, I do. Start Gvardiol or Stupinian? I'd start Gvardiol. Should I get Trippier for Saliba? Once again, like I said, it's a good move long-term. It's up to you. I'd probably do it, but I still think Saliba plays this week and does well. Is a -4 worth it if one plans the wildcard in 2 free game weeks? It depends on the player. With defender or goalkeeper transfers, I'd say more often than not, it's not worth it unless it's a Trippier you're bringing in. But in the midfield or attack, like a Morris for a double game week, or you're bringing in, let's say, Diaby, Jarrod Bowen, I think those sorts of players and purchases could be worth it. I think Saka will play, but if you do see anything online, any leaks, be sure to let me know. I can't even check out my phone because it'll probably make the stream lag because I am using a hotspot. I'm going to have a quick look now on Twitter. We've got around 29 minutes until the deadline. If you haven't already, by the way, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. It'd be massively appreciated. And by the way, we've got over 200 people watching, which I do appreciate because we did start 1 hour later than I wanted to. But that's unfortunately nothing I could do. But let's try to smash the like button and get this stream to over 150 likes. It'd mean a lot. And it would make up for quite a disappointing day so far with the internet. Hopefully FPL can also cheer us up and we can have a great week too. But as I said, if you see anything, you know, online in terms of leaks and all of that, then be sure to let me know and we can go through it together and then we can just really update our opinions and we can have a better understanding of the best decisions to make ahead of Double Game Week 7. So I'm going to have a quick look now, but I don't think there's anything online. I don't see anything on Twitter yet. Let's see. I'm probably searching for the wrong things here. Yeah, I don't see anything whatsoever. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, I'll have a quick look later on as well. Apologies for the little silence. I was just literally looking and seeing if I could find anything. The hit is majorly for Salah from Double United Midfield. I think it is worth it. Obviously, Salah's so consistent. A run of 12 games now, you know, producing returns. That Double United Midfield, despite the fixtures, you know, really turning for Man United, I still think having 1 is probably the best bet instead of having 2. So that makes sense. I think Rashford to Salah for a hit is still sound. Watkins in and Darwin out. I like Darwin, but Watkins is probably the better option over the next 5-10 game weeks, and you'll outscore him from now until the end of the season. Son or Foden? This week, Foden. Overall, I'd rather buy Son, and that's one of my plans. And if I were to make a late move this week, it would be Chilwell to Botman for a -4. Then I'd start Botman over Stupinian, and that gives me enough money to either sell Bruno, I think, or Saka to Son next week, and potentially captain the South Korean or Maddison ahead of that Luton Town fixture. So yeah, long term it's Son. Thank you for the super chat, Aaron. Much appreciated. Madison, Son, Saka, Diaby, Awani, bench 1. Oh, that is... Honestly, some of these questions today are really difficult. Reluctantly, I'd probably bench one of Diaby or Awani, and if I had to pick one, it's probably Awani. I'm really conflicted between Diaby and Awani. I think one of them could blank, of course. It's just getting that right one. I definitely wouldn't bench Saka, Son, and Madison despite the flags. So, yeah, probably Awani for me. Let me know what you're kind of leaning towards, but if you're thinking about Diaby, I don't blame you whatsoever. I just think the way Brighton play could really suit Diaby and Aston Villa. Chilwell to Zuma, Share, Burn, or Cash. I'd go for a Newcastle defender for the long term, so I'd go for either Share or Burn. This week, of course, you could make a case for Zuma being the highest scoring one. Sheffield United struggle from set pieces. Zuma is a big threat from them, and West Ham obviously target set pieces all the time with Ward-Prowse with the delivery. But long term, I'd play it that way, and I think a Newcastle defender is the best transfer. In Mbumo and DS out, Trippier and Gordon in for a -4. Ideas? Yeah, honestly, I think those are good moves. Obviously, Mbumo to Gordon could backfire, but I still think that's a good move long term. And if Gordon can stay suspension free, I think those are really good transfers, and you're going to benefit a lot from it. So I'd go ahead with it, to be fair. Gordon and Diaby to start this week. Yeah, picking one of those two is really tough. Gordon's got the better fixture, but I think Diaby, oddly enough, could have the better chance of a big haul, but really tough one. I'm probably going to base it off the fixture and go for Gordon, but Diaby, watch out for him this week. I think he's going to do well. Start Nunez. Yeah, I think so. He did really well last year at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Areola or Leno for this game week? It would be Areola. Who should I place for Rashford? Have 8.7 million. I think Bowen could be right up there, or James Ward-Prowse. I'd definitely recommend one of those two. Bowen, JWP in, Martinelli or Gusto to burn. Good question. I'd go Martinelli to Bowen or James Ward-Prowse. Saka, Madison, Botman playing? I think so. That's just my opinion, though. Rashford to Son? Yeah, good move. Obviously, it's all a question of time, and you could hold out one more week and then bring Son ahead of game week 8, but ultimately, I would make that transfer. Botman or Tarkowski? It's Botman. Botman or Trippier in for Chilwell? Trippier if you can, but just bear in mind, buying Trippier could mean you go without the likes of, let's say, Salah, Heung-min Son in the midfield, which could be very frustrating. Sell Chilwell to which defender outside of Newcastle? I think Matty Cash long term would be a good move. You're also looking at, I still like Man City defenders like Walker or Akanji, Saliba. Of course, he is a doubt now. Gabriel could be a great option, especially on the wild card. I think those are the options I'd mainly look towards. Gabriel, hold or sell. Hold this week, maybe sell ahead of game week 8. My over was 88k, good stuff. Is Trippier a horrible captaincy punt at my rank? Not really. You could make a case for at that rank to protect it, but look, what I would do in your situation, you're doing really well so far this season, is to keep on trusting your instinct, and I honestly think Trippier is right up there. And I know I said it last week with Alvarez, but I genuinely think Trippier could break the most transferred in curse this week. Should I transfer Rodri out for a -4? Depends on your budget and which players you can buy, but you know, Gordon would be a good transfer, Diaby, James Ward-Prowse, Bowen, all of them would be worth a -4 hit. Let's see what else we have. Dylan not worth a -4 for Saka to Son, right? It all depends on whether you think he starts or not. I think Saka starts, and as a result, I don't think it's worth it. Also, start Stupinian or Udogie. I'd go for Stupinian, to be fair. By the way, I'm going to put one quick poll out before I continue going through your questions. We've got 22 minutes left until the deadline, so keep on getting your questions in. It's much appreciated. We've got over 230 people watching, so I appreciate the turnout considering the circumstances. It really means a lot. It was very frustrating today, but there you go. We are here, and hopefully we can keep on going. Let's try to get this stream to over 150 likes, and that would also help us out in the algorithm. There's more FPL and UCL fantasy content over the weekend. Hopefully no more, broadband going down and all that jazz. Let's keep it PG. But I'm going to put one quick poll out, and it's to do with my transfer plans, which I talked about in my team selection video. I want to let you lot decide, maybe not decide, but to give your thoughts on these transfer plans. So just going to keep it simple. Take a -4 hit. for Chilwell to Botman. This and then how do we rephrase this? Take a -4 hit for Chilwell to Botman, and this would mean, which would mean Saka / Bruno to Son in game week 8. Yeah, just keep it to yes or no. All right, quick poll. Thank you very much to those that vote and for those that are supporting the channel. Let's get straight back to your questions because I know there are some that I haven't been able to answer. I do promise I'm not skipping them. The chat is quite busy. Raja says Chilwell to share for a free or a -4 for Trippier. Ooh, that is a good question. I'd probably stick to the free, but Trippier for a -4 is still worth it, in my opinion. And obviously, long term, you could argue that Trippier does justify the extra hit, but it all depends on when you're looking to wildcard, because if you're looking to wildcard in game week 8 or 9, I think the share move is just best. Son in, Saka out. In game week 8, I wouldn't do it this week. Adil says, hi Dylan, Chilwell to share or Kabore for free. Oh, I think we covered this, but just in case. Or Chilwell to Trippier and Estupiñán to Kabore -4. Good question. I'd go for the long-term move in Chilwell to share over Kabore. The alternative is for the -4. Yeah, I can see why you're looking to do that. I wouldn't do the -4. I would just stick with the free transfer of Chilwell to share. Bayer, good option, only for double game week 7, and even then, I'd expect Newcastle to score a few goals, so Bayer is probably limited to 1 or 2 points, and my prediction for the Luton Town-Burnley game is for both teams to score, and maybe for Burnley to win, but yeah, but Bayer's just really a double game week option, decent, but nothing more than that. I wouldn't really recommend him. Botman becomes Batman. I like that. Let's wait and see. So, wow, 87% of you have said yes. That's actually quite surprising. So, if you haven't voted already, be sure to let me know your thoughts. But I put a poll out, which is basically building upon my thoughts on the team selection video, which is take a -4 hit for Chilwell to Botman, and this would mean Saka / Bruno to Son in game week 8. And 87% of you have said yes. And of course, bringing in Botman this week would mean benching Estupiñán. And of course, if Botman misses out, I've got Estupiñán and a doggy coming in anyway. Start Botman or Diaby. I mean, Diaby naturally has the highest ceiling as an attacker. Oof, that is extremely tough. I'd probably go for Botman, but like I keep on saying, I have a good feeling about Diaby. No Man City news as far as I'm aware. If you see anything online, be sure to let me know. But be very careful when you're looking at these sources. A lot of people do search for clout, and some things are wrong, to say the least. Wait, let's see. He said Batman because that's how you spell in the poll. Did I really say Batman? Fair enough. Jesus Christ. It's been a long one, guys. It's been a long one. So no wonder. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. You just got to laugh. You really have to. Hopefully people aren't voting yes because it's Batman, because I wish I could bring in Batman in my FPL team, but Jesus Christ. I saw a few questions that I haven't been able to answer yet. Oh God. Yeah, no worries. I do. Start Botman or Diaby, we covered. Start Estupiñán or Mbeumo. Probably Mbeumo. Not really a big fan of both this week, but probably Mbeumo. Botman, Cash, Estupiñán, Zinchenko, Romero. Pick 3 to start. Not Romero, that's for sure. It'd be Botman, Zinchenko, and probably Estupiñán. Hey Dylan, would you do Chilwell to Trippier and Saka to Maddison, or just Chilwell to Botman, 2 free transfers? I keep on thinking about Batman now. I'd probably do just Chilwell to Botman, I think. I wouldn't get rid of Saka just yet. Play Flecken or Turner. I'd play Turner this week. I'm predicting a 1-1 draw, and generally I prefer Flecken, but for this week, if I had to give one team the edge, it would be Nottingham Forest. Start Saliba or Estupiñán, it would be Saliba. Maddison or Sterling, I prefer Maddison. Start 2 out Foden, Alvarez, Saka. Okay, I might have to redo the poll, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, out of those two, honestly, I don't want to bench any of them, JP, but it's probably Saka and Alvarez. Let me redo the poll because honestly, it's just a joke at this point. Jesus Christ. I have a really good feeling that people are really just voting yes because I put Batman. Fuck. All right, let's. Can I copy it? That'd make it much simpler. Come on, don't be dumb. There we go. All right. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to end the poll there. Look, come on. Surely people are just saying yes because it's a good plan. Let's put it again just in case. Batman. Here we go. So let me pause the stream. I don't want to have it lag. So take a -4 hit for Chilwell to Botman, which would mean Saka / Bruno to Son in game week 8. So yes or no? We're going to do it again, okay, just to avoid any confusion. Keep on smashing the like. It really means a lot, especially if we answered your questions. I'm going to keep on going through these to see if I've not covered anything. Apologies for that sound. So yeah, Ramolis, as I said, I would go for Mbumo. Upper Khan says Eze to Gordon and play Gordon. Yeah, just bear in mind, Gordon is a suspension risk. One more yellow and he gets suspended, but I would do it. Thank you, FPL Diamond. Andre Onana or Areola? Areola this week. Start Cash or Stupinian. Look, it does seem like my opinion is a bit contradictory because I do back Aston Villa a little bit more, but I just prefer Stupinian as an asset. I'd go for Stupinian, and as for the other question, it's definitely Areola. Bench 2, Wissa, Gavardio, Saliba, Stupinian, Archer. I'd bench Archer and probably a Stupinian. Wissa to Morris, yep, good transfer. Even for a -4 hit, I'd consider it. Thank you, Mona, for the super chat. It's genuinely much appreciated. Start Cash over Mbumo versus, with Villa. Villa's record versus Brighton. That's a really good point, and I mentioned it in some videos. The record is actually surprisingly in favour of Aston Villa. Brighton have struggled against them. I think last season they lost both times. It's not a bad shout, to be honest. I'd personally go for Mbumo because I still think Cash concedes, and then you're relying on attacking returns, but it's not a bad call whatsoever. Let me know what you're going to go for in the end, but I think I'd go for Mbumo instead. Start Saka or Pedro? I'd go for Saka. Do you think Botman starts? I do. Wilson punt? Yeah. As long as Isak is an injury doubt, or as long as Isak is playing in the Champions League or Carabao Cup, I think Wilson's a great option in FPL. Yeah, I'm hopefully not Singh. Yeah, hopefully not. It would be a big shame because we've literally just got 40 minutes. Just hold out, hotspot, hold out. James Ward-Prowse or Almiron? James Ward-Prowse. If you want to go for a Newcastle midfielder, go for Gordon. So yeah, I can see why you want to differentiate things, but not a really big fan of Almiron nowadays. Islam says Botman, Estupinian, Saliba, Doggy, Anderson, bench 2. I'd bench Joachim Anderson against Man United, and I'd bench a Doggy. So I'd start Botman, Estupinian, Saliba. Start Morris or Watkins. It'd be Morris, but I also wouldn't want to bench Watkins, to be fair. Hi, pun on Bowen this week in Wildcard 8. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that Bowen move. So my answer would be yes. Watkins versus Mbumo to start, it would be Watkins. On a wildcard, should I keep Fernandes or Saka? Sorry, Fernandes has the better fixtures, but I think Saka's been better in FPL this season. Really close call, but I think I'd maybe go for... Really tough call here. I think I'd still favour Saka. I'm more of a form of a fixtures person in general. And if we really look at it, besides Man City, I still think Arsenal could do well against Chelsea, Bournemouth, Sheffield United, etc. So I'd go for Saka. Yeah, Wilson punt is a yes for me. Gabriel in, Saliba might be out. I still think Saliba plays, but Gabriel is probably the safer pick at the moment for sure. And he's cheaper. Yeah, I think Wilson starts and scores. Yeah, that would be my prediction. It seems like I'm really positive at the moment, which I'm not sure why, but who to start, Mbumo or Darwin? I'd actually go for Darwin this week. Really tough fixture, but if he starts, I think Darwin has a better chance of scoring than Mbumo. Start Alvarez or Akanji? It'd be Alvarez, but Akanji's a good option. Chilwell to Share, good move. I'd say yes. Not my favourite Newcastle defender, but still a good move nonetheless. Bench Sterling or Mbumo, it would be Sterling. Alvarez to outscore Haaland today. It's a possibility, but I think Haaland. Alvarez and Foden starting. Okay, let me know where you got that from. I'm going to have a quick look. So yeah, let me have a quick look and see where that's coming from. There's a few sources that have Man City leaks, like the FPL newsletter and stuff like that. So apparently Pellistri starts for Man United. That's according to the FPL newsletter. By the way, we just got news apparently from Odds on FPL that Saka and Saliba start. So let me just get that up. I'm not sure how reliable they are. I do follow them, by the way, but I'm not sure how reliable they are. Let me get this link up very quickly. So before deadline, it looks like he says. So it doesn't say he definitely does. He says Saliba and Saka start, Botman, Trippier, Share, Gordon, Wilson start, Son and Maddison start. So let's wait and see. I'm going to put this up now on stream. and then we'll go for a few other different screens because I've just been showing my team. So this is literally the news, and this is what I've been predicting as well throughout the whole stream. I wouldn't be surprised if all of them start. If anything, I'd be surprised if the likes of Son or Madison were on the bench or something like that. But it does look good. Let's wait and see. He does say it looks like, and it's not his info, so take with a pinch of salt. But yeah, doesn't look too bad, especially, well, considering all the flags we have. We are around 32 likes away from 150, so let's keep on plugging away at the likes and also subscribing to the channel. We're looking to get to 21,000 subscribers by the Tuesday deadline stream for UCL Fantasy. We're around 494 subscribers away, and that is going to be maybe a hefty task, but with the UCL Fantasy kind of numbers we put up, I think it's definitely possible by Tuesday, so let's keep on going. Bench Sterling or Mbumo, I think I've covered that already, but just to say again, I would bench Sterling. Who do I start with? Stupinian, Gabriel, Pinnock? I'd start Gabriel. Bowen to Mbumo for a -4. I'm guessing it's the other way around, so you're bringing in Mbumo. You're bringing in Bowen. -4 here is a bit of a... maybe sways it a little bit. I do prefer Bowen over Mbumo right now, but I'm not sure if I'd do it from -4. I said Estupinian, I'm going to stick to it, but that's mainly for the attacking threat. I think both teams concede, and if anything, Brighton might concede more, but Estupinian has more attacking threat than Cash for me. Play Kabore or Ruben Diaz? I think in this case I'd still go for Diaz, but look, if you've got a double gameweek player, I'd go for them, of course. Let's see what else. Yeah, Saka's travelled. Yeah, he has. Of course, that doesn't mean he's going to start, but let's wait and see. Yeah, Saka has travelled to Bournemouth Twisted. We've covered that before. Saka, Declan Rice, and Saliba have all travelled. Doesn't mean he's going to start, but I think he will. Play Pickford or Edison this week. Pickford is facing Luton, isn't he? But I'd still go for Edison. Rashford or Bruno Fernandes? I prefer Bruno long term. Having said that, and I did say this against Burnley as well, I think the fixtures favour Rashford a little bit more. He's got a good record, if I'm not mistaken, against Brentford and Palace up next. But I still prefer Bruno Fernandes. Better underlying numbers, also good performances every single game, pretty much for Man United. Rashford has been a bit hit and miss, so I'd go for Bruno and sell Rashford instead. Yeah, Rashford to Bowen I think is a good move, and you've also opened up a lot of funds. Saka Masterclass incoming, it's definitely possible. Diaby or Mbumo? Diaby. Is Eze a sell, Dylan? I think so. I like Eze, but he is a sell for me. Hi, Dylan. Roll the transfer to attack Game Week 8 before wildcard despite flags. It depends which transfer you're looking to make now, because that could also play a part. If it's like, it wouldn't be chill to Trippier, otherwise I'd just do it now. That'd be quite simple. But if it's Saliba to Trippier or something, then maybe I just roll in your situation. Keep Bowen or bring back Saka? I keep Bowen. The thing with Saka, look, I think he'll start. But let's wait and see, of course. And I do understand why you want to bring him back. He does face Man City in Game Week 8, and I don't really have much hopes there for Saka and Arsenal players. I haven't read the City news, actually. No, I haven't. So let's go through a few different screens very quickly before we go and cover any last things we need to do. And I might make a very late transfer, which I don't recommend people to do. So let's go through this very quickly. In terms of the FDR, Aston Villa are top. Luton Town, West Ham, Man United, Burnley complete the top 5. You've got Liverpool and Newcastle also quite close. Sheffield United, Chelsea, Man City, Brentford and Brighton are in the bottom 5. In terms of predicted points, Haaland is top. Morris is second. Then you've got some more double game week players in Kaminsky, Trafford, Burke. Then you've got Salah, Ramsey, Bruno Fernandes, Bell, Brownhill. Not very often you're going to see so many Luton Town and Burnley players in the top 10 predicted points. In terms of price rises, Gordon, Salah, Son, all about to go up in price. And those going down, you've got so many. Chilwell, Saka, Isak and Mbumo. I mean, we could just keep on going. Luis Diaz, Joao Pedro, etc. And in terms of Drafthound, things are looking pretty good. Haaland is top of the predicted points over the next 3 game weeks. And even if we go to the next game week, he is also top. Morris is second, Trippier, Salah, and then you've got some more double game week players there. Bowen is also right up there, along with Alvarez, Rashford, and Ward-Prowse. So yeah, let's wait and see how it all goes. And also one more thing I want to show you is a stats comparison of Trippier and Botman. We talked about this last week, and Botman had better stats, But that Sheffield United game really swayed things in Trippier's direction, despite not scoring a single goal this season. 3 attacking returns. And look, ideally, you'd have both of them. That's the best way of covering Newcastle defensively. Let me know which team you're on, Botman or Trippier, or Batman, as I called him in the poll. And apart from that, I'm going to keep things as they are and just go back to my team. And I think I might make a late transfer and bring in Sven Botman. But yeah, Goldhead, I haven't read the City news. I'm going to try and find that as soon as possible so we can get back to answering your questions really quickly. But if you've got a link, that'd be massively appreciated because I'm literally scrambling through Twitter like a madman right now. So if you've got a link, let me know. Start Cash or Gvardiol, I'd go for Gvardiol. Maddison, I think he starts, as we've covered. Mbeumo and Saka price decrease, really dropping my team value. Yeah, I've seen some people lose like 1 million in team value basically, which is obviously not ideal. Bowen in for a -4, Mbeumo out. Yeah, look, like I said, Bowen is a good option. It's just that -4 which puts me off a little bit. And I still like Mbeumo over the next 3 overall, especially against Burnley at home in Game Week 9, I think it is. Look, overall, it's a good transfer. Long term, it should pay off. But I'm just a bit wary about selling Mbeumo for a -4. Cash or Doggy or Share to get. For me, it'd be Share or a Newcastle defender. I still like a Doggy long term as well, of course. But if you're looking to bring one out, it's going to be a Newcastle defender. Nunez and Ream or Cash and Awani, it would be... well, overall, it'd be Cash and Awani as a duo. Play Stupinian or Eze, it would be a Stupinian, but really close call. I don't really expect much from either. Any news on Isak? No. As far as I'm aware, there's no news. Cash or a Stupinian for this game week, it'd be a Stupinian, but honestly, if I had to back one team in that game week, it actually is Aston Villa. Would you pick Wilson or Watkins on a wild card? It'd be Watkins, but I like Wilson as well. Dallo or Wan-Bissaka for Chilwell? Probably Dallo. Saka, Wissa, Sterling, choose one to bench. It'd be Sterling. It's between him and Wissa, and I'd definitely start Saka. Start Mbeumo or Mitoma. I'd start Mbeumo, I think, but both are good options even this week. So we've literally got 5 minutes left for the deadline. I would not be surprised if the stream don't even want to talk about the stream. If the site crashes. I'm trying to get Man City news. Look, I literally got a magpie going crazy outside. That's probably a sign for me to get Botman. I'm trying to see if there's any news about Man City. I haven't been able to see anything there. So that is a bit of a shame. And I'm also keeping an eye out on the chat, but I can't see anyone with a link. So, yeah, if there is any Man City news, let me know, because I'm literally in the dark at the moment. Yeah, Saka playing? I think he is. I'm getting that question a lot today. It's just my opinion, but I genuinely think he is. He travelled to Bournemouth yesterday. I think he'll start, and that would make it 87 consecutive appearances in the Premier League, which is absolutely insane for a player of his age. Yeah, 4 minutes left. Am I going to risk it? I probably am. I think I'm going to make a late transfer of Chilwell to Botman for a -4 hit, and that could allow me to basically bring in Son next week. So 73% of you have said yes. So it has gone down slightly compared to when I said Batman. So yeah, definitely played a part there. Downgrade Rashford to who? Because I can't afford Trippier only. Bowen, James Ward-Prowse, Diaby. Those would be my picks, and Diaby is my overall preference long term. Grealish doesn't start. Foden, Alvarez, Diaz, Haaland start. All right, thank you, Goldhead. I appreciate that. Get the Batman, bro. Come on. Yeah, I will. And I appreciate Goldhead for the update. I think I'm just going to get Botman in, which is a risk. It's not a guarantee he's going to start, but yeah, you know, it's a long-term move as well. I think I'm just going to do it. And there we go. So let me just bring Botman into my starting 11 before I cry. And there we go. I have gone ahead with my transfers, which I talked about in the team selection video. Despite having no internet, I'm literally not using my broadband right now. I have been able to make a transfer and stream. So take that, Sky, you little bastards. So yeah, that is my team for Game Week 7. Despite bringing in Botman, I've now added, or basically, I've still got the same amount of flags. Onana in goal, Saliba, Botman, Trippier, who is my vice-captain now, Saka, Mbeumo, Maddison, Sterling, Bruno Fernandes, Haaland, and Alvarez. A decent starting 11. Sterling is still there, though. That's a bit of a downer. And I've got Turner, Estupinian, Udogi, and Osula on my bench. So I've got a bit of bench cover in case things go south. Let me know your team situations in the chat as well. Let's smash the like button and get this stream to 150 likes. And let's just make sure I don't miss too many other questions as well. I'm not sure if Ake starts, to be honest. Grealish benched, yeah. Doku should start then. Isak starts, I have no idea whatsoever. Arsenal goalkeeper news, no, there is none, but I would anticipate Ramsdale being on the bench again. I think Raya will keep his place. But, of course, Ramsdale, I have to say, played very well against Brentford the other day. Bench 2 out of Sterling, Isak, Udogie, and Boomer. I'd bench Udogie and probably Sterling. The thing is with Isak, I don't think he'll start. -4. My free transfer was Rico Henry to Trippier. So that's why I took a -4 hit. Akanji will start. Yeah, I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I think Goldhead said it earlier. Bowen for captain. I'm not against that, to be honest. He'd also be right up there in the top 6, 7 captaincy options. I still prefer Haaland and maybe a few other players here and there, but he is a good option. Start Kabore, yeah, I would. Saka, Odegaard, and a wild card, Saka. Bench 1, Saliba, Gvardiol, Estupinian, Botman. I would bench Estupinian. Foden starts, yeah, it looks like it. Like I said, I'm trying to get the news there. Maddison not playing, says EY. I'm not sure where you got that from, but that would be a blow for my FPL team. Starting Nakamba over Estupinian. I mean, not really anticipating much from him. Probably just 4 points from appearances and stuff, but it's not the worst call in the world, I guess, but I'd probably still go Estupinian. Will Akanji start? I think so. Is Burns starting? I personally think he will. Once again, all of this is my speculation. It's not set in stone. I'm not in the know. So take with a pinch of salt. And now we've hit the deadline. So that's it. We've got no more time to sort out our teams. It's a shame that I haven't been able to stream longer from 9 a.m. But there you go. On your way out, you know, like I said, smash the like button. We're 15 likes away from 150, and that'd be massively appreciated considering we started so late. Bench order for Estupinian, Archer, and Bell. It would be Bell first, Estupinian second, Archer third. Gvardiol bench rumours. Yeah, I've seen a few here and there. That's why a lot of people are asking about him. I'd still play a Gvardiol over him just in case he starts, but I can see why you're doing it. And Udogie could get an attack in return. As for Trippier in for a -4, I mean, I've done the same thing basically, and I do like that. So that's what I would have gone for. Trippier in for a -4. We covered that question and also that. Thank you, Nishan. Bench 1, yeah, we covered that. Is Burns starting as well? Why Sterling? Well, it's just I've got other fires to put out. It's pretty much that. Literally, my defense has been a nightmare this season. I had Mings, he got an ACL. Enrique Henry, ACL. And then all these other injuries or issues I get, which I have to cover first. Will Gvardiol start? Not too sure now. Not too sure, to be honest. I'm going to try get the Man City team news, you know, whatever it is. I'm going to try get it and see if I can give you an update, a conclusive one. But yes, I'm trying not to use my phone, by the way, which could speed up the process because it will just make my my stream lag, and I don't want to do that. But the deadline has passed, probably just for the sake of preventing lag and all of that. I don't want to go through that stuff again. I might not be streaming as long as I would like, but I'm trying to see Man City's team, and I can't even find it. Yeah, like I said, if you've got a link, be sure to let me know and speed it up because I genuinely can't find anything online. It's literally it's impossible to find something at this stage. James Will-Prowseville and Boomer this week. I like that. Starting Canberra with Stupinian we covered. Bench 1 between Botman and Stupinian, Colwill or Kanji. It probably would have been Colwill for me. Between him and Stupinian, and I think I would have benched Colwill. Keep Archer, all that 4.3 million forward, yeah. Dylan, first 3 of your subs are my starting 11. Look, they're not bad options, to be honest. I just decided to bench them. I've got that cover just in case. Yes, it is done indeed, Milner. It is indeed. Good luck, Safir. Thank you very much. Thoughts on Gabriel versus Bournemouth. Good option. I also like him, particularly in game weeks like 10, I think it is, against Sheffield United. I think Gabriel's a really good option on the wild card too. Madison not starting, says F10 Clash. That's really surprising. There you go. So my midfield could be a big issue this week. It looks like Estupinian could be coming in. So yeah, it looks like that rumour we talked about earlier doesn't look like it's going according to plan. Thank you, Justin, and I appreciate you tuning in from New Zealand across the world. Literally, it's going to be like a 24-hour flight to get there. But yeah, thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. Chelsea will destroy Fulham. Wow, some confident words from a Chelsea fan who tends to bash his own team. So good luck. What are you saying? Hopefully, you know, I've got Sterling in there. It'd be nice to see an attack in return. Walker starts. Yeah, despite Pep saying he deserves a rest or he needs a rest. Yeah, shut up, Pep. Just bench Burn. Yeah, I think Burn will start, but let's wait and see how it all pans out, to be honest. I started Estupinian over a doggy. Let's see how it pans out. I've got both of them on my bench, but ultimately one of them could come on if Maddison does miss out. -8, Mateta and Henry to Trippier and Morris. I think that's a good set of transfers. I really like it. Good transfers. Mateus Nunez starts. Thank you, Gordon, for the Man City updates. I appreciate it. Foyers is basically a Chrome extension. Type in FPL away kits and then add it to your browser, but you can't do it on Safari. It has to be Google Chrome or Brave, these Google Chrome powered engines. So I'll try to find a link for you very quickly. But yeah, literally, if I type in FPL away kits, it's the first thing that comes up. I think it's this one. So I'll put a link now in the live chat. It's a very common question that I've been getting in the past few years. So just click that link and you will find it. Yeah, Maddison confirmed not starting. I appreciate that. He is a blow, but there you go. Sterling owes us. He definitely does, but probably just our fault for getting in, especially me, because I'm usually not a fan of Sterling in FPL, even when he was at Man City. I think Burnley score. Hopefully not. That'd be just a massive blow to my team. But yeah, I think Burnley score in the double game week. I think they get a win against Luton Town. Let's see how it all pans out. I started Gordon instead of Diaby. Yeah, I think I would have gone for Gordon just about, but I really like Diaby this week. Ended up going in Boomer over Cash. Yeah, I would have done the same thing, to be honest, as we discussed earlier. Fulham will embarrass Chelsea. My prediction's a draw, so let's wait and see. Burn, Botman, Wilson start. Hallelujah. Looking forward to that 69th minute dagger from Burnley. I don't know why I said 69, by the way. Anyone put in Mbama for budget? Oh, wow. I mean, this week is just absolutely crazy. People considering just the randomest of transfers, but it does make sense. It really does. Start Saliba or Bayer. I mean, I would have personally gone for Saliba because I'm looking at the fixtures and I think Burnley concede them both. Man City, Edison, Ake, Diaz, Akanji, Walker, Phillips, Nunez, Foden, Doku, Alvarez, Haaland. Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Considering all the leaks and stuff we've been getting over the past 20 minutes or so. Makes sense, and good to see Alvarez and Haaland start again. Hopefully they can do really well, even though a Man City, draw or loss would be great. Yeah, I'm not sure what Maddison's confirmed by, to be honest. I would take all the news coming out with a pinch of salt and always check the source, but apparently he's not starting according to EY. I'm not sure where he got it from. Infinite Athlete will start new Chelsea glory from today. I'll be honest, I don't know what you're on about there with Infinite Athlete, but then again, I'm a bit out of the loop at the moment. Ariola, Turner, Trippier, Botman, Adoghi, Cash, Kabore, Son, Maddison, Bowen, Diaby, Gordon, Haaland, Alvarez, and Morris in my team. Looks really good. What changes should I make for Game Week 8? Your team's a good spot for Game Week 8, to be quite frank. Obviously, keep an eye out for Maddison. Let's see if he's available this weekend and, any injury updates we get later in the week. But I think Morris is really the one to sell in the weeks to come. But you'd probably have to make another transfer in order to get Morris to an ideal striker like Watkins, Wilson, Alvarez, etc. Well, you already got Alvarez, by the way. So, yeah, I think your team is in a good shape, to be fair. Your goalkeepers aren't ideal. I think Turner could lose a spot eventually. Not now, but in a few weeks' time. Yeah, I think your team is in good shape. I don't think you need to make a transfer per se. So, honestly, Mohamed, let's wait and see what happens over the weekend. And after the final game on Tuesday, then we can reassess. But I think right now your team looks good. Dylan, I kept Bowen for Saka. Yeah, I would have done the same thing, to be fair. If I sold Saka, I would have just gone without him and bring him back in ahead of Game Week 9 or 10. Thank you, Sunindra. Likewise, good luck and to everyone else watching. I did a -4 Saka to Bowen. I still don't regret it, but I'll be pissed if Saka actually played the 90 minutes. Yeah, look, he could be subbed out a little bit early because Arsenal still need him for Lons on Tuesday and against Man City next weekend. So, yeah, I think his minutes will be managed slightly, but I think he'll start. I wildcarded this week. I'll send over my team on IG. Yeah, I'll have a look. I'll try to have a look also on Discord. I haven't been able to check every single message on Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. Especially today, things were really hectic. Did Rashford to Bowen and Baptista James or Prowse. Good transfers. I like them. I think Rashford could do well over the next few weeks, and I keep saying this, but I genuinely believe so. But I still think Bowen is a better long-term option, especially considering value. I hope I don't regret I started Taylor ahead of Gabriel and Estupinian. Good luck, mate. Let's wait and see. Yeah, I mean, I would have started Gabriel personally, but look, it's a double game week player. You've got to go for it. Yeah, fair enough. I know now. Yeah, thank you for that, Goldhead. I actually forgot about it. Your pronunciation of Haaland was correct, Dylan. It's not Haaland in Norway. Oh, what? So Haaland or Haaland? Yeah, let me know which one is correct. Because I think the other day someone was correcting me saying, yeah, amazing videos, but you're pronouncing it wrong. Come on, get it right. I was even able to say some complicated name from Real Sociedad, Baranechea, but I can't say Haaland, so I don't know. I swear to God, if Maddison comes in for the 90 minutes and Villa keep a clean sheet, Maddison 1 point and cash on the bench, then I will cry. Yeah, it would be extremely bad luck, but yeah, this week is going to be full of surprises, I think. Let's just wait and see. Got a tongue twister for you. You always got these next up things. Speak this out loud 4 times and it should be quick. Oh, God. Hopefully it's nothing suspect. Mac Drac says Anana, Saliba, Trippier, Stupinian, Sterling, Son, and Boomer, Rashford, Bowen, Alvarez, Haaland. Thoughts? I think it's a good team. I really like that Bowen pick. I wish I had him this week. Your defense looks good. Sterling and then Boomer are the only concerns, just like with me, but I hope it goes well for you. Should I use wildcard? I have 6 players that can't play. Just because they're flagged, it doesn't mean they can't play. And also, the deadline's passed now. So just wait until the weekend's action has gone by, or at least the Saturday games, because it's literally 8 matches today, and then you can reassess. Bought share and found out Burn starts right after. Lost 500,000 value there. Yeah, it's just... I thought Burn would start, but with the flag, it always puts you off. The tongue twister is... Oh, God. Let's see you suffer. Scissor, sizzle, fizzle, sizzle. Not too bad. Does that count? Arthur says did nothing. Yeah, I took a -4. Jesus Christ, this week is just absolutely mad. Twisted Park, he says, my plan next week, Bowen to Maddison, then week 10, Maddison to Saka. Looks like a solid plan. I like it. I think Game Week 8, double, triple Spurs is going to be on everyone's agenda, so makes sense. Fingers crossed, need to buck up in my league. Good luck, Alan. Hopefully you do. I'm doing really poorly so far this season, but it's early days. Not sure, Roku. The news or the leaks I saw is that Saka's going to start. He did travel. I really hope Saka's not benched because that's going to be a massive blow. Thank you, Mohammed. I appreciate that. It's Haaland, not Hoyland. It's Haaland. You got it right. So Haaland, right? I'm sorry. I just keep on... Because literally, I checked even pronunciations. You know these videos that say how to pronounce a player's name and it says Erling Haaland. So okay. Lucas Dunn says, did a -4 to bring Diaby and Salah for Saka and Fernandez and will buy Son and Game Week 8. I like that, and I'm looking at something similar, maybe selling Bruno or Saka for Son. I wish I had the funds to do Son to Son and for Sterling, but because I got in Trippier, it has prevented me from doing so. Thoughts about Decore? Really good for this week on paper, but I wouldn't want him long term. Dylan, I bought in Salah and captain him. Good luck. I really like Salah in Game Weeks 9 and 10 for the captaincy. Not so much today, but he's got a good record against Spurs, and he's just a great option in general. Yeah, I'll try to do some predictions on Discord very soon. Bruh, say it 4 times back to back. Yeah, but that's... Come on. Saka's starting. Yeah, hopefully. You can put the Discord server on screen as well. Yeah, potentially. Okay, that's a good idea. If Maddison doesn't play, Udogie will come on. Yeah. Let's wait and see. I mean, I've got a bit of squad depth. Baba says something in... Is that... I don't want to say what language. I'll probably get ridiculed for it, but yeah, I don't want to say that. We all need the Saka hat-trick to punish the community. I mean, that'd be great, but yeah, we'll go for some match predictions quickly before wrapping up. Is that your starting team on screen? Yeah. I made a -4 hit. I brought in Botman and Trippier for Rico, Henry, and Chilwell. Maddison starts, Dylan, says FPL Diamond. Yeah, I mean, I thought all week that Maddison would start, but I don't know. I don't know where you got it from. I'm guessing you got it from a good source. Use triple captain on Haaland. Got a feeling he's going to score a hat-trick today. Yeah, I think he'll score like a brace or a hat-trick. Yeah, I think a brace is my prediction. I think City will win 2 or 3-0. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. Good luck, mate. Any word on Gabriel starting? He should start. I mean, with the injuries Arsenal have and the doubts they have, it makes no sense to bench Gabriel. Twister Parky says, my team, Areola, Botman, Trippier, Botman, Cash, Salah, Son, Gordon, Bowen, Mbumo, Haaland, Alvarez, bench, Turner, Udogie, Lamptey, Archer. Good stuff. I like it. Not much wrong with it, to be honest. I think for this week especially, it looks really good. A is a Scandinavian letter, doesn't sound like an A. Haaland is more accurate. Wow, fair enough. I don't know. It's literally because I say Haaland, people say it's wrong. I say Haaland, it's wrong. I don't know. I'll just say both and just appease everyone. I've not read anything concrete on Twitter about Maddison. Only read in FPL Focal's Discord that Maddison hasn't been seen at Anfield. Yeah, because they're playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, isn't it? The London Stadium. That's why, mate. So yeah. So I'm going to go through the Discord server quickly and type in my predictions, and also show you what you're maybe missing out on. If you haven't already, check all the links in the description below for the Twitter and Instagram, DylanRCM, and also the Patreon channel memberships. We're getting to around 50-60 members at this point, so thank you very much to those that have signed up, those that send in super chats as well. Hopefully going on Discord doesn't make this lag, but what I'm going to do very quickly is go to full screen and change this to the Discord server. Come on, don't lag. We're nearly there, nearly there. Where is Discord? So yeah, this is the Discord server. As you can see, we have so many different channels. We haven't shown it before here on YouTube. Let me just do this, by the way, which might be even better. Look, there's two of me. Double the annoying Dylan. So yeah, if we go to the Discord server here, we've obviously got the general FPL chat. We've got rating your teams where you can talk about your transfer plans. Whenever I make a video or when I am going live like here, you get notified by the bots we have. We've got 4 bots. Obviously, a massive shout out to Wayseng for setting most of them up. We've got prices as well. Whenever there's a price change, you will find out. As you can see, the prices tend to change around 2:30 a.m. Lineups as well. When we get the lineups confirmed, you will see on the Discord server. We'll also put polls. That's something I'll keep on doing from next week onwards. Transfer suggestions as well. There's a bot which you could use to help you with your transfer plans, fixtures as well. Whenever we've got any postponements, double game weeks and blank game weeks to be aware of, injuries, live matches as well. If a player scores, gets an assist, the bonus points at the end, and of course the deadline as well, where you get constant reminders so you never miss a single deadline. And there we've got the predictions. We've got even more channels there as well, like the simulation. You've got feedback where you can talk about how to improve. You've got the FPL bot as well. We've got a UCL fantasy one and a few archived for F1 fantasy and World Cup fantasy, but we can bring them back, of course, to life if you wish to. But UCL Fantasy, of course, once the Champions League, really kicks in and we're talking about it and we're previewing it over the next few days, we can go through it. So let's go through some predictions. What I'm probably going to do is go back to the FPL website and just show you all the fixtures on screen. But I think, you know what, we might just stick with the Discord server. Why not? So these are the predictions. I'm going to reply to Wayseng's message. I'm going to copy and paste and do that. So I'm going to go for 2-1 Aston Villa. Man United against Crystal Palace, I'm going to stick with a 2-0. Newcastle Burnley, I think 3-0. Yeah, 3-0 Newcastle. Wolves Man City, yeah, probably 3-0. Bournemouth Arsenal, I'm going to go for 3-1 Arsenal. West Ham Sheffield United, I'm going to go for 2-0. Everton Luton, my prediction is 1-0 Everton. Let's see. Spurs Liverpool, if Maddison starts, it's going to be a 2-2. Nottingham Forest Brentford 1-1. And Fulham Chelsea, I also went for like a 1-1 or 0-0 originally. I think I'm going to go for 1-1 again, yeah. I think I'm going to go for something like this. Let me know your thoughts and your predictions for all the action. As you can see, look, the live chat is already going. During the streams, after the streams, you name it. But yeah, those are my predictions on screen. It's kind of rough. There's a few things I might change here and there, like Newcastle to 2-0, Man United to 2-1. But I'll probably stick with that as my predictions for Double Game Week 7. And yeah, let's go quickly back to... Yeah, let's just go back to the FPL website very quickly. There we go. And here we are. So it's been an eventful one today. Literally, my broadband was down. I was finding solutions, and unfortunately, when I tried to start the stream originally using my hotspot, it was just an absolute chaos. It kept on crashing, so I ended it, and I basically waited an hour for the internet to come back up and trying to see if the hotspot speed improved. It did, and so I went live, and thankfully we've been able to stream today, and I appreciate those that tuned in, because obviously I know there's a lot of people streaming at the same time, and I appreciate you tuning into my stream despite all the issues we had. I might wildcard next week, Alicia, but it's not set in stone, and I'm quite happy to keep on going without it, but let's wait and see. No worries to Sparky. I said Batman, so I can't even talk. The best game to use wildcard is team dependent, but I think Game Week 8 and 9 are good opportunities to use it. Some people will say Game Week 19 because we could have a double game week for Man City in Game Week 20, facing Sheffield United and Brentford at home. So you can, basically wildcard into that in Game Week 19, triple captain Haaland in Game Week 20. My keyboard takes 2 hours to work properly, says Twister Parky. Yeah, my internet takes a million years to work properly, so I understand your pain in a way. Big up, Dylan. Thank you, Safir. As always, I appreciate that. Nice breast and League One this week. What's that about? Yeah, thank you, Sanjay. I appreciate that. There is a link in the description as well for the Discord server, the FPL League, the Twitter and Instagram, channel memberships, and also the Patreon. The simulation channel is basically to simulate matches. So you use the simulation bot, you type in a match, and then it will basically give you like a prediction. It's the algorithm giving you a prediction. Who won Chelsea? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't surprise me this week. What's my plan for next week? Potentially to bring in Son for either Saka or Bruno. Joao Pedro benched. He's just an absolute pain, isn't he? Average FPL, thank you very much for the question. A slightly off-topic question. Has anyone done a deep dive on the accuracy and effectiveness of using AI recommendations? I see them being promoted everywhere. That should be studied. That's a really good point. I mean, I use them as kind of like a guide, maybe something as a foundation to base my decisions off. But ultimately, I just go for the players I think will score points. Of course, that's a funny old game of FPL. But yeah, that should be studied. That's a really good point, actually, because maybe we're just being fooled by all the algorithms. I wish I had not rushed last Sunday. Could have kept Leno. Yeah, but look, it is what it is. And Leno's fixtures aren't particularly great. The thing with Leno is he's fixture-proof. Sterling better score twice. Even 1 goal would be absolutely amazing. Would you sell Joao Pedro for Morris, says Kenyon? I mean, not now. It's too late. For Morris, you would have brought him in for double game week 7. I wouldn't buy Morris for the next few weeks necessarily. He's a decent option at his price, but from game week 8 onwards, you'd rather go for Alvarez, Watkins, Wilson, etc. Thank you, FPL Diamond. I appreciate it. Yeah, Goldhead, but I'm just, nice breast. It is what it is. It really is what it is. I did Sterling to Gordon and Chilwell to Trippier from -4. Good luck, Dylan. Good luck to you. I like those transfers. And honestly, despite the suspension risk, I think Gordon is a better option than Sterling. So good stuff. Like I said, I wouldn't sell Joao Pedro to Morris because the deadline's passed. And I wouldn't buy Morris ahead of game week 8. I would sell Joao Pedro to another forward entirely. Great stuff, Dylan. Miss your F1 content, though. Yeah, look, I like the F1 content as well. But yeah, just not really worth it in terms of the numbers and stuff. I do, I make content anyway, regardless of numbers. But, with FPL and UCL Fantasy, to also do F1 Fantasy, it's really difficult to sustain. And I don't think the numbers justified it, unfortunately. And I have to say, this year, F1 Fantasy has been a bit stale with the changes they made. Everyone's pretty much got the same team. Suddenly it got a bit more interesting with the change to prices, but yeah, they could definitely do better, I think. Osimhen to Chelsea. I mean, it would be a good move. Bit of a weird thing going on with Napoli at the moment. Bowen hat-trick and some Gordon returns. It's possible. I'd say Bowen can get a goal or 2. A hat-trick might be stretching it, but good luck. Awani hat-trick, I pray, even though I have Flecken in goal. Yeah, I mean, as long as you get some points, eventually. Note Luton players on your team. Why? I didn't want to take a hit to get rid of Alvarez or Haaland. If I had enough money to do Archer to Morris, I would have done it. But because I got in Trippier, it kind of prevented me from doing so. And honestly, beyond Game Week 7, I don't want any Luton Town or Burnley players. Gordon is expected to start. Yeah, I think so. What rank are you now that you took the -4? I'm not sure, to be honest, Milner. I have to check, but probably 3 million-ish. So it's not looking good, but I'm hoping that -4 hit pays dividends and we can have a very solid week. I definitely need it because after Game Week 1, which was a very solid start, it's been an absolutely horrid time since then. So I'm really hoping for the best. Good luck to everyone else watching as well. Thank you to those that voted in the poll and that have followed the channel for a long time, and those that tune in today, because we had some problems with the stream, but we were able to keep on going with the hotspot, by the way. And that's why we had to resort to 720p quality. It shouldn't happen again, but honestly, with Sky Internet, you just never know, the little bastards. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, DylanRCM. There's also so many links for the Discord server, FPL League, channel memberships, and the Patreon. It's all massively appreciated. Thank you to those that tuned in. There's probably going to be a reaction stream tomorrow. I'll keep you guys updated. If not, it could be on the Monday or something like that. And there's also more UCL fantasy content. There's a wildcard video already available for channel members and patrons. It should be out for everyone else fairly soon as well. And then I'll be recording the team selection video for UCL fantasy. There's a chip strategy guide already on the channel. Best limitless team for match day 2. And of course, the deadline stream on Tuesday. Our aim is to get to 21,000 subscribers by the Tuesday deadline, and we're only a few hundred away from that goal. So thank you very much to those that tune in today. It's massively appreciated. Leave a like on your way out. Share this video around with those that love FPL and UCL fantasy. I'll catch you very soon for more content, live streams and videos alike, and I hope you enjoy the football. So let's just keep on going. Let's see if next time we stream, there's a red arrow. Red arrow? No, green arrow for Christ's sake. I'll see you very soon.